Bear Independent Brief, 29 October 25. Before we read the written brief, Hurricane Melissa has moved across Jamaica, I believe is a Category 3, and is headed to Cuba next. As of the time of this recording, already expected to be a significant humanitarian aid crisis. Pray for those people. I know Kyle, the executive director at Grindstone, was on some planning calls yesterday for American organizations and NGOs to discuss what support to those island nations look like. That doesn't mean anything as far as involvement or lack of involvement at this point. It's simply planning. That being said, the early reports seem to indicate that at least in Jamaica, a swath approximately 50 miles wide and 50 miles long, so that would be 2,500 square miles, is destroyed, just decimated. So, yeah, be aware of that. Keep those people in prayer. Written brief. According to North Korean state media, now, always consider the source, North Korean state media. Any state media is going to be trash. But North Korean state media, okay. Quote, Japan's military strategy in recent years focused on enhancing its preemptive strike capability. End quote. Japan's military strategy in recent years has focused on enhancing its preemptive strike capabilities, end quote, and claims that, quote, long-range weapons under Japan's control have brought our republic and other nearby nations within their range, end quote. That's, reasonable, actually. That's actually a reasonable assessment. Pyongyang, which is a ridiculous name. Hey, man, what's the name of the capital of your country? Pyongyang. Oh, okay. Are we playing ping pong right now? What are we doing? Pyongyang. Specifically pointed to, that's very racist, Bear. I'm not a racist. I'm just saying that that's a ridiculous name. By the way, is it? Let's pull out the old scale of oppression, shall we? Did your ancestors walk the trail of tears? No. Okay. I don't know. People afflict people. People exploit people. Cain and Abel. Goes all the way back. It's biblical. I'm not a racist. I just think that it's funny sounds are funny. We're not, the internet's ruined a lot of things. Let's just be honest about that. I was thinking about that this morning as I was making my coffee. And I think we might have AOL to blame for this. You are online. Oh, no. Oh, no. I need to do some digging and figure out who it is that actually developed America Online. I mean, we know that the internet was a DARPA program. I remember way back in the day. See, my dad did some interesting things when I was a kid, TSSCI stuff, and they used to have these, they're called bulletin boards, BBS, bulletin board service, and you'd use like a 2400 baud modem, be-doo, 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 beep, and you'd log on to these bulletin board services, and you'd input the appropriate beep, boop, beeps, and then you'd get behind a particular wall, and then it was like a bulletin board with all this information on it. That was the precursor to the internet, or kind of like Internet 0.1. And once they started putting, vices on the internet, I feel like society has just kind of fallen apart since there. Everybody's super sensitive and oppressed. Maybe, potentially, for your consideration, shut the hell up. Because if the world as we know it is going to end, being offended by sounds or lack thereof. Your audio's bad today, Bear. Yeah, hey, it's the best it can be. Look at the gain on the back of this microphone. Look at it. It's turned all the way up. Okay? Once I take this data and sprinkle it onto the YouTube mainframe, it's gone. There's nothing I could do about it from there. Oh, and there are hundreds, thousands of other YouTube content creators that are having auditory issues and have for years as well. Meh. But I digress upon my digression. What's the point here? It's going to get hard, boys and girls. Real hard. And if sounds like Pyongyang offend you, why are you even here? Go, flee from me. Run away, run. Pyongyang specifically pointed out Japan's maritime self-defense force Aegis destroyer, the Shokai, which is reportedly heading to the United States to be equipped with American-made Tomahawk cruise missiles, because we got just bajillions of those laying around. An upgrade planned for all 8 of Japan's Aegis destroyers. This is going to be fun. Meanwhile, South Korean military planners are quietly preparing for what they see as a real possibility. So this is South Korea, right? The air quote, bastion of freedom in the realm over in that part of the world, in the INDOPACOM, which is it's an American protectorate, essentially. Coffee. Don't slurp your coffee, Bear. Okay, sure thing. I'm unsubscribing. Sweet. Police yourselves. Meanwhile, South Korean military planners are quietly preparing for what they see as a real possibility that North Korea could exploit a future Taiwan conflict to strike the South while U.S. forces are tied elsewhere. Man, this sounds a lot like Everything Everywhere All at Once. Where have I heard that phrase before? Wait another month or two, another year or two, and it'll be breaking on X. And all these other prepper intel people will be like, breaking news, South Korea prepares for war in the South China Sea. It's like, yeah, I feel like I've heard this somewhere. North Korea could exploit a future Taiwan conflict to strike the South while U.S. forces are tied up elsewhere. Indeed, everything, everywhere, all at once. A senior South Korean military officer told Defense Blog that the country's general staff is actively studying scenarios for the late 2020s. That's an interesting time frame. Oh, it's like 2027, 2028, and I've heard this data before somewhere. Quote, we are exploring multiple possible scenarios for how events might unfold if a major military conflict occurs around Taiwan in 2027 or 2028. One in which the United States is heavily involved. Did you watch the Preparing for War with China video? No. Well, you should. It's here at this channel. Have you rewatched it with a notebook and taken notes? Have you picked up the breadcrumbs and followed the trails in those videos that I laid for you of the things that I cannot divulge, open source on these platforms? No? Sounds like good homework today. If Washington shifts its focus to the Taiwan Strait, South Korea could face reduced U.S. troop presence and diminished access to weapons stockpiles, creating what the officer called a window of opportunity for Pyongyang, which is North Korea. Seoul, which is South Korea, is looking at everything from limited cross-border strikes to full-scale invasion attempts. Recently, President Trump made rare remarks about Taiwan before departing for Asia on 25 October. Quote, we're going to talk about Taiwan. I have great respect for Taiwan, Trump said, describing the island as a partner worthy of respect. When I was asked about potential Chinese military action, Trump warned, quote, I think it would be very dangerous for them if they did it. If they did do it, then it would be very dangerous. They might do it, they might not do it, but if they did it, it would be probably, maybe for them, a very bad idea for them to do that or not do it. We're not really sure yet. Nobody said that they could do it, but I said maybe they would. Maybe they wouldn't. I'm not really sure yet. I'm going to go to Pyongyang and I'm going to bring them
American pickles. They've never had pickles before, these communist bastards. They've never tasted a cucumber plus vinegar. And I think that maybe it's the kimchi going to their brains, which is why they're all trying to kill each other. It's a giant mess. If that doesn't work, we'll use them. The B-52s, maybe some B2s, maybe some B12 vitamins. We're not really sure yet. Mr. Pete, he's investigating all options, but I think the B12 vitamins, they're going to do it. They're going to do it, folks. Nobody said you could do it, but I said we could do it. We could give them so much energy. Think about how industrious these little people would be if they had all these B12 vitamins, all this energy. It would revolutionize their economy. They wouldn't have to shoot anybody anymore. No more tariffs.
Meanwhile, Beijing is dealing with its own... Trump did not say all of that. He probably did. It just wasn't recorded. Meanwhile, Beijing is dealing with its own internal turmoil. And one of the largest purges of senior military officials in Xi Jinping's... That's the president of China. One of the largest purges of senior military officials in Xi Jinping's, quote, anti-corruption campaigns. 9 of the most senior generals were expelled from the Chinese Communist Party in October, and all happened to jump out of their apartments to commit suicide at the same time. I'm sorry, self-deletion. You can't say that on YouTube. I've said now the words racist and suicide in this video, which means channel strikes or whatever. Share the show if you like it. If you don't like it, run away. Run away. Don't hang out here if you don't like it. You have agency in your life. You can be a big kid. You can do whatever you want to do. You can be whatever you want to be when you grow up. Just be it somewhere else. So share the show. Or don't, whatever. Chinese officials claimed these individuals, quote, seriously violated party discipline and were suspected of serious duty-related crimes involving an extremely large amount of money. Oh, so there was grift in the Chinese Communist Party? No way. In the American, air quote, capitalist society, there was grift? No, that would never happen. Never, I say. Crimes involving an extremely large... Bear, why are you so ADD this morning? I don't know, man. Maybe it's because 3AI Atlas / reptilian overlords... You guys see that thing? Oh, yeah. The CIA remote viewer said that he remote viewed 3I Atlas, and it's filled with 5 million reptilian drones, and it's going to be here sometime between today and tomorrow, and everybody needs to prepare for it, which then has all of the... Revelation retards going, it's the rapture's coming. I'm telling you, there's going to be fewer people on the planet Earth by 30 October. I have resisted the urge to comment on 3I Atlas or whatever the hell it is, giant space rock. You know why? Because I don't know. And believe it or not, I really try to not talk about things that I don't know, like personally know. I don't know if the space rock's filled with reptilians. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. I think that's low possibility, low plausibility. Is it possible? Yes, everything's possible. Is it plausible? I'm going to go with meh. It seems a little meh to me. Is it a 20-mile long alien spacecraft, Bear? I don't know. What does NASA mean in Hebrew? Nasa. To deceive. Meh. I don't know. I will tell you this. In the event that it is filled with 5 million dormant reptiles who are coming to enslave the earth, I have the same policy for aliens as I do Sasquatch, as I do cryptids, and anything else. It's very simple. Shoot them in the face. And so, if the reptiles come, just shoot them in the face. Totally demonetize this one. We've talked about self-deletion. We've talked about racism. We've now talked about shooting aliens in the face. Yeah. Sometimes Wednesdays just we're all going to die Wednesday. Listen. The little Asians are going to get their B12. They're going to be very hopped up with all the energy. The space rock is going to land in Pyongyang. And then the people from Seoul, they're going to move to the north. They're going to kill reptiles and little Asian people. They're about the same size. It's a fair fight. We have artillery. It's going to be wonderful.
And then we'll have the Asians will fight the reptiles. Xi Jinping is going to be taken out. Then we're going to take Taiwan. And then the reptiles, they can probably have, I don't know, maybe the high Russian steppes. Maybe we'll put them where the Mongols were at. We'll see. Up there in the desert where there's nothing to worry about. There's no resources. It'll be very good. We'll engage in trade negotiations with the interstellar reptilians from the giant space rock, and it'll be fine. It'll be fine, folks. Don't worry about it. Daddy Trump's got it handled.
In any event, back to the Intel people, my Intel team, the Dance Monkeys, is probably just losing their shit at this point. They're like, why even write you a brief, boss, when this is what you're going to do? Hey, I didn't know I was going to do this. It just happened. All right? None of this is planned or scripted. Chinese officials claim, I'm going to just shut up and read the brief now, claim these individuals seriously violated party discipline and were suspected of serious duty-related crimes involving an extremely large amount of money, of extremely serious nature, with lots of extremes, extremely detrimental consequences, end quote. Most had connections to the Fujian clique, which experience focused on Taiwan operations, though it's unclear what effect removing so many Taiwan-focused officers will have on the Chinese military planning. All right, so what happened here? Xi Jinping just axed, literally and figuratively, 9 of his most senior generals, all of which had purview on Taiwan operations. So people will look at that and go, what does that have to do? Like, okay, so he got rid of his Taiwanese-focused generals, so maybe they're not going into Taiwan. He didn't get rid of all of his generals. He probably got rid of the ones that cannot be trusted once Taiwanese operations begin because they've been focused on Taiwan. Is it possible that maybe perhaps they have been doubled? What does doubled mean? Oh, yeah, so they work for China, but they also work for somebody else. Maybe passing little bits of information about what the battle plans might look like if/when China goes towards Taiwan. Therefore, they must be removed. Therefore, new plans can be developed, old plans can be solidified before action takes place, 27, 28. By the way, we're only, 13 months away from 2027? 13 months. I'm just throwing that out there. I feel like I've heard the number 15 months thrown around beginning about a month ago. How interesting. Taiwan itself is moving forward with serious preparations. The executive yuan approved a plan in October to invest about $1.4 billion in domestic drone production over the next 6 years, with the government planning to purchase 100,000 drones in the next 3 years. Interesting timelines. Nearly half are for the Ministry of National Defense. So 50,000 drones for the Ministry of National Defense. Let me ask you something. Let's just say hypothetically, you intend to invade an island nation. There's only a couple of ways that we're going to get people onto said island. One is boats filled with people. The other is planes filled with people. Can you fly a drone laden with explosives into boats filled with people? Yup. Can you fly a drone laden with explosives into planes filled with people? Yup. Do the big planes filled with all kinds of people move really fast? Nope. The landing craft filled with people move really fast so they can evade FPV drones or wire-guided drones? Nope. No, they don't. What about the U.S. Navy's replicator program, where the admiral in charge of it stated, "It is my goal to turn the South China Sea into a hellscape"? This is part of Taiwan's push towards an, quote, asymmetric, end quote, defense strategy using cost-effective systems that can act as force multipliers. I've seen this somewhere before. In a separate move, Taiwan's legislature passed a special budget providing $3.4 billion for purchasing war readiness fuel. Man, Bear, I don't know what to prep. War readiness fuel. And expanding wartime reserves of ammunition and water to last 120 days without resupply. along with safer storage and modernized communications networks. Damn. Hold on, did he just sprinkle nuggets in there for us to onboard in our own personal preparedness plans here domestically in the United States of America in the case of civil unrest and or external warfare and or everything all at once, always? Man, if only I had a pen and a notebook. The concern remains that Taiwan's energy sector is highly vulnerable. The island imports roughly 97% of its energy, and only 3% of the defense funding was allocated to this critical sector. Energy imports would likely be a key target for any Chinese blockade. These interconnected tensions paint a picture of an Indo-Pacific region on edge where multiple flashpoints could ignite simultaneously and stretch American commitments thin. How interesting. Muy interesante, as they would hablan en español. That's the show for today, brought to you, of course, by the creator of the universe, God. Yahweh, your Elohim, the Lord, your God. The wonderful people over on Patreon, the economic engine of the Bear Nation. They get access to all the behind the scenes, behind the paywall exclusive stuff. It's only $10 a month. It's the best $10 you can spend on the internet. Listen, why don't you cancel your OnlyFans subscription and actually work towards the preservation of life with a couple of bucks? Yeah, just saying. And let's see, of course, nephews.radical.corn. Go with an SOB today. This is SOB kit, small the back kit. This one's in red, but they come in multicam and Marpat and Ranger green and Coyote tan and black and all that. And it's little. Look, here's my hand. Boom. It fits on the back of your war belt, your duty belt. I run one of these on my plate carrier, upside down, right here. So then I have an armrest to put my arm when I'm patrolling. And then I can, if I need to, I've got a Committee on TCCC recommended windlass tourniquet on the top. That one's a soft T. You can use a cat as well. Whatever. Boom. I go rip my TQ off and go to work if I need to. And then if I need to, I can also grab this tab right here, pull, and get this red handle right here, pull. And now I'm holding my little tiny suitcase of blowout kit in my hand. And I'm not having to fight with all my stuff that's still stuck to my body after I've been shot, stabbed, blown up in order to put myself back together again. And I got everything I want inside of here for wound packing and for airway management and respiratory management. I got combat gauze, I got gloves, I got a nasopharyngeal airway, I've got a pressure bandage, I got chest seals, I got flat duct tape, all inside of there. Nice compact little sub 1 pound low profile kit. It's phenomenal. It's the SOB kit, the small of the back kit. Our buddy, the Patriot Plumber, helped us design this because he was doing these like tactical shooting competitions, and he had his tactical shooting competition belt, and he was trying to find a first aid kit that didn't suck. And he called us up and he was like, yo, you guys are good at making first aid kits that don't suck. You want to make me one? We're like, sure, what do you want? And this is what he came up with. I was like, that's really good. Can I sell that? And he's like, yeah, of course, go for it. And so now you can benefit from his experience and expertise, and you can get yourself an SOB from nephews.radical.corn. Make sure that you use promo code BEARNATION. That'll get you 10% off on everything. Components, training, kits, field hospitals, data point. Man, field hospitals are in high demand right now. Yeah, but from whom, Mr. Barrio? Well, for starters, we'll just say defense. And then let's add into that disaster response. And then let's add into that non-governmental organizations. And then let's add into that private citizens. I don't know. It's almost like people can read the writing on the wall or something. That's the show. Stay tuned for White Girl Wednesday later today, potentially on the alternate channel. We'll see. What's the alternate channel? Blue Collar President on YouTube. You'll find it. I'll see y'all when I see you.